Hello and Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Mia Marsha and today I'm going to be your moderator for the 7th talk-based podcast entitled We're Going to Dive Deep into the post-SPM era, and we know how we want to really unwind and relax during these times, but also be mindful that this is the time for you to level up yourself, unleash your fullest potential, and be ready before uni life begins. Now, without wasting any more time, we have 3 amazing speakers with us today, and let's get to know them.
Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum. My name is Putra Adam Nakidemi Firdaus. I'm a PhD scholar. You may call me Putra. And my intended course is Economics and Finance. And I am from Emerson Kuala Lumpur.
Hi, my name is Iman Irdina Mukmin and I go by Iman. I am a Yayasan Khazanah scholar and my intended course is Actuarial Science, and I went to SMK Putrajaya Precinct 16-1.
Hello, I'm Shafinaz Rami. You can call me Finance. I used to be in Emerson Tunigapa Bubble and now currently pursuing economics under Putra.
Wow, so now we get to know our speakers, and without wasting any more time, we would like to hear their insights on what they went through during the post-SPM period. Now, going on with the first question, Putra, how did you feel when SPM ended? Was it like you have relief, excitement, or feelings of uncertainty? Well, what was it like to know that you don't have any more schools for hours on end?
Alright, thank you Mia for the question. It is a very interesting question. For me, I think I feel sad. I feel a sense of reliefness and excited actually. So the reliefness comes from, of course, when you're tired, studying and then staying up all night. And after that, you know that SPM has ended. So you feel that sense of reliefness. For excitement, I think that yes, of course, we were very nervous of getting our SPM results. And to mention that I took IGCSE during Form 4 and I took SPM during Form 5 because Emerson Kuala Lumpur is an IGCSE school. So during IGCSE, of course, I felt nervous as well. And during SPM, I was like not ready with the expectation, but I felt the sense of the readiness because I took IGCSE and I felt that expectation and the result and so on. So the sadness came when I realized that we can't be 18 anymore, right? We cannot. What can I say?
We're not kids anymore.
Yeah, we're not kids anymore. I can't do that. I can't do this because we are 18 or maybe 19 and we don't feel like high school anymore because university life for me it's very, very, very different from high school.
Exactly.
Sure.
So now, Iman, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so I went to a daily school. So my day usually just consisted of going to school and going back home. So when I didn't have any more school, it felt like I was lost at first. It doesn't feel like any other day because now I didn't really have to go to school. I didn't have to get ready. I don't have to go to extra classes. So at some point I felt disorganized, but at the same time I felt excited because I was really waiting for what's ahead of me. And I also felt happy because I don't really have to study anymore. And of course, I think I put in a lot of effort in my SPM. So it was a huge sense of relief that it was all over. But sometimes when I think about it, even now, I feel a little bit sad because I do miss the school environment. And I would say that it is vastly different from uni life, I would say.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Now, Finance, I would like to ask you, how did you spend the majority of your post-SPM break? Did you get a job? Did you do internships? Or were you involved in any leadership programs?
Thank you, Mia. Well, to start off, the first few weeks, I was occupied with playing games and stuff, sleeping most of the time because living in a boarding school, you have enough sleep.
Yes.
So I made sure that I caught all of them.
Yes, I got all of that sleep.
Oh, and suddenly I actually got a call from one type of camp, which we called camp interesting. And I actually was selected to be in MFLS signing at Tier 3.
That's good.
Funny story, I actually met Putra there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we actually met twice for two different clubs, but under the same category.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's one of the most interesting thing that happened to me in my whole life. Definitely met a lot of people with different personalities and backgrounds, but really mature in a sense that you learn a lot from everyone, and each of them holds different values, and you just like keep that close to yourself, and it kind of like also shaped me into who I am today. So most of the time it was a leadership program, but I feel like it's more to like bonding with people my own age, and also finish SPM and such, so we can share a lot of things together. So Putra, what about you? Say something about that.
All right. So as Finas mentioned earlier, we actually met twice during Saringan Tier 3 and also the Tier 3 at Kelang, if I'm not mistaken. Is it
Yes.
the real one? Okay. IYC.
IYC.
Okay, IYC. So MFLS, for those who don't know, MFLS Malaysia Future Leader School is actually a leadership program that consists of 150 selected students from all across Malaysia. And yeah, Alhamdulillah, we were both selected, and it was a 2 weeks program, and we did a lot of things. We did a lot of CSR activities. We even get to be in the parliament, right? Debate parliament. And yes, we went to meet the DBKL Menteri KL, sorry, the DBKL punya boss, yes. And we even went to a lot of things. We went to the beach, we went to the, as I mentioned, CSR, we went to the old folks home, and so on. Yeah, so I think the most important thing after SPM is when we connect with friends, we meet with friends, and I think that's the value that I cherish most.
Yeah, exactly. And how about you, Iman? What are your point of views on this?
So I think that my experience were a bit different from Putra and Finas. Although I do agree with Finas, the first 2 weeks I think I just got up my sleep. I played games because play Valorant.
God.
But most of the things that I did after SPM were related to financial gain. So I started getting serious about content creation, and I attended a lot of brand events. I did a lot of paid reviews, and sometimes I also would become ambassador for a brand. So there was this one time I signed a contract to be an ambassador for a cosmetic brand called Iman Cosmetics, and basically I served my term there. And I also coached Emerson Pendam for debate and my own school team for debate. So about once a week until I had to leave for uni, I would come to my school and help my juniors with their debate team.
Understood. Okay, if I may ask, maybe you could share like 1 or 2 pieces of advice for our students, for our post-SPM students who would like to have a taste of what content creation is really like.
Okay, so content creation, I would say it's very abstract. So number one tip, think about what do you actually like? What are you passionate about? What is something that you can talk for hours? For me personally, I struggled a lot with my studies during my lower form, and once I found something that really works for me, obviously I want to share it with people. So I did talk a lot about education on my page, but at the same time, I really like makeup, beauty, and everything in between. So I started doing that too. So find your niche and start talking about it. It's okay if people don't really watch your content, because over time you will gain the traction and you will gain the viewers. And another thing I would say, don't really listen to what people say. Take advice, but if it's comments that's going to bring you down, put it aside and just be confident in what you put out to the goal.
Understood. So listen, guys, okay? Make sure your content has value, all right? So now, I'm also interested in the programs that Putra and Finas participated. So if you guys can share some of the values or takeaways that you can give to our post-SPM students out there, what would it be?
Well, for MFLS, is it?
Yeah.
Alright. So first thing first, MFLS teaches us how to make a team, how to build a team. And yes, we all don't know each other, except for me and Finas actually. So, and the funny thing is, me and Finas were in the same group as well. So yeah, we met a lot of new people, new culture, like from Sabah Sarawak as well. So the thing that, or the values that MFLS teaches us is actually of course, teamwork, team ball, because we went for camping as well. We went for sports. There's a sports day as well. And yeah, I think that's a very, very good initiative by the Prime Minister's office as well. And yeah, can you talk about more about this of MFLS?
In addition to that, I feel like individually, you really get tested mentally.
Yeah.
Because like it was 15 days camp, back to back. You like wake up at 6 or like sometimes 5:30, and then you go back to sleep at 12, 1. And we were like the student council of the program. So there was one day that we had to sleep around 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So it was really mentally, physically exhausting. And I feel like from the camp itself, I learned how to really manage my time and my emotions. Jadi pun kan we have all these sorts of like hormonal stuff. So I feel like that part is actually not emphasized enough for people to actually know that mental health actually affects your daily routine also. And we really need to learn how to manage it. And sometimes you overlook that in a way that in the future, that is the main thing that causes you to fumble or like bring you down in a way that you don't know how to recover.
So
Yes.
should I add some more? Yes. Okay. So I think MFLS doesn't just teach us how to be a leader, because you, the reader, the watcher, like who's watching right now, is our future leaders. Okay. And exactly, future leaders is everyone that participates or everyone that gives back to the country, or maybe to yourself, that improves yourself to become better in person.
So I know write you disclaimer, MFLS has rebranded to something else,
Oh yeah.
which is called PKGM, Program Kecemerlangan Program Madani.
Oh.
And the participants are students range from 15 to 17. So if there's any one of you who are 15 to 17, if your school offers that camp, go. You need to
Go.
Go for it. Literally go for it. Okay, guys? So get out of your comfort zone. You never know which of these programs that will shape you into the person that you will be in the future. Alright? So now moving on to question number 3. Iman. Well, how exactly did you recharge mentally during the break? So what's your go-to activity to relax and just recharge?
Okay, so this is pretty interesting story. There was this one time I got a brand deal with a German company called Blinkist, in which they provide ebooks and audiobooks. So the way that I recharge, which doesn't actually cost a lot, is every evening at around 5:30 or 6, I would go to the lake in front of my house and cycle while listening to audiobooks. Sometimes I would get lost in my cycling and listen to about 3 to 4 audiobooks. And I think in a way, I really did enrich myself every single day by just cycling and zoning out while listening to audiobooks. And another thing that I did is I visited places that I really wanted to visit during SPM, because obviously we were busy, right? So I made like a whole list of places that I wanted to go. So I went to Pasir Seni, I went cafe hopping, and that was a way of me recharging myself. I dressed up and I put on a lot of makeup, and in a way, it was a way for me to be myself, and I felt really happy after SPM. And yeah, I think another underrated way that you can do to really recharge is doing things that is considered as unproductive. Sometimes you think that playing games is unproductive, but if you really want to do it, just do it, because this is the time for you to be quote unquote unemployed.
Exactly. So how about you, Finas? What are your thoughts on this?
I think the main thing is that you do something that you know you love. And for me, I have different interests over the years. Like this year, I like reading books, and then the next year, I like playing games and stuff. So you need to know what you love to do and just do it. And it's after SPM. You have no commitments at all. Why are you worried about being productive? You can be unproductive and just do whatever you want. It's the only time in your whole life that you can do anything that you want without having to be worried about like work or stuff. But if you really do want to be in the part-time job life, you can. As long as you love it, then you should go for it.
Understood. How about you, Putra? You have any experiences, or how do you deal with it?
Well, I just want to add some more, because yes, I do play sports a lot. I play football, badminton, volleyball, tennis, Yeah, you name it.
Okay.
Okay, and I do ice skating as well.
Ooh,
I
that's
think-
interesting.
Yeah, I do ice skating. I skated since I was 6 years old, actually.
Interesting.
And I was about to join a ice hockey team during that time, but my mom said it was too dangerous because it's like rugby but in the ice. Okay, so for me, doing something that you love the most is the most important thing. Of course, after SPM is very very important to actually know yourself better and just relieve your stress and spend more time with your family, spend quality time with friends as well. Because me myself, rather than like other than going MFLS, applying for scholarships, I also go out with my friends a lot. Okay, to play football, to lepak mama. For the boys, lepak mama is very very important because that's how we do like bonding with each other. Other than work, that's it. You know. So yeah, I think spending time with your beloved ones is the most important thing after SPM.
Of course. Okay, now moving on to the fourth question. Well, Iman, are there any underrated skills that people often overlook but are very useful later? And what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so if I had to pick one underrated skill that I think everyone should at least get into it sometime is actually making friends randomly and also directly approaching strangers. So I learned this because back in my school, I didn't have that much close friends. So I wanted to expand my networks. So whenever I go out to events, run events, and all that, even though I feel scared, because there's so many famous people, there's so many pretty girls. So obviously I felt embarrassed to talk to everyone, but I just suck it all up and started saying hi to everyone, making small conversations. And the thing is, I still talk to them till this day. And another thing that I think people should learn is definitely how to be okay with being alone. Because I think throughout SPM, obviously some of us would go out with friends, but there will be periods where people are too busy to go out, or maybe you're just out of money to hang out, obviously. So you would have to feel okay being alone and having your own company. And I think at some point you do need to learn to enjoy yourself. So yeah, that's it. That's what I think people should learn now.
Understood. How about you, Finas?
I think the first thing that I would emphasize on is time management. You would think it's something yang macam, oh,
Cliche.
it's easy, but it's not. Once you get more than one thing on your plate, it's gonna be hard to actually manage and not like mess up one of it. So I feel like after SPM, you can start to think of your style of managing time, because my style, I'm a bit spontaneous. I don't have a big schedule, but for that one day, I will have a fix of list of things that what I want to do for that day. But it's so spontaneously done. You know what I mean? So you need to learn on that, because like after SPM itself, entering college, that's the first thing that you need to have in order for you to actually survive.
Understood. How about you, Putra?
Well, adding on to Iman's point, making new friends, right? Well, I think communication skills as well are very, very important. It's very, very important because for scholarship applications, of course, based, right? Communication skills, you are communicating with your friends, they have like team interview, group interview, individual, and so on. So communicating with the panel, your friends, or everyone is the key for actually to get a scholarship. Because when you talk to the panel, or maybe let's say you don't have any good like communication skills with anyone, that person or any other person wouldn't know like what are you trying to say, right? Something like that. And yes, as Iman said, communication skills to make new friends. And for me, other than communication skills, we can use soft skills. Like for example, after SPM, I learned how to cook. I can cook telur dadah. I can cook Maggi.
Maggie, of
Of
course.
course, nasi goreng.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a soft, very very soft skill. Okay, and riding a bicycle is basic, and any other soft skills like maybe ice skating should be one of the most exciting skills that you can try at home, and any other things as well.
Yeah, so you can see that during this post-SPM period is when we have to really polish up all our skills and really know our time management skills and learn to articulate well so that it will be used later in not just scholarship applications, but also in the future when we interact with other people to make our ideas, convey our ideas more precisely and effectively. Okay, now moving on to the fifth question. Well, Finas, in your point of view, how was transitioning from high school to pre-university has been in terms of environment, peers, or workload? What do you think?
I'd say the main thing that you would think of when you say transitioning is culture shock, especially going from Mara to international school, which is private, QAM. It's a really, really big and massive transition, especially if you're not used to being around people that are more open, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And I feel like some people might take it in a way that, oh, I'm free, I can do whatever I want. But some people might also take it in the other way around, meaning like, I don't think this is right, I don't think this is wrong. So I feel like you have to have that much of a moral values for you to really understand the environment surrounding you and not to let it affect yourself, especially your academics. And sometimes it could also affect your communication skills because you're too intimidated with everyone else around you. So just be ready and be open to everyone. And I feel like another thing is that the change of studying like subjects, because I didn't take econs during SPM. So taking econs in A levels is actually quite hard, I want to say, because I've never learned it before. And then now it's exposed to me about all this econs syllabus and stuff. And I feel like you need to learn more and research in depth of what you're learning. So just be ready for everything and just face it.
Yes, just face it, girl. So, what about you, Putra? What do you think?
Alright, so I have a story to share
Of
actually.
course.
And it's kind of funny because, okay, there was this one time when I was out with my friends. And my friends showed something. Hey, Putra, cuba tengok ni, KYUM. And then I was like, ah, sekolah apa ni kan?
Exactly.
Oh, what's this? Huh? Kuala Kubaru? Oh no, I'm not going there. Because I was from MRSM Kuala Kubaru. So I was like, because if you guys search in Google, KYUM, it comes up with Kuala Kubaru, Selangor. Because, or maybe Lembah Beringin, Selangor, Lembah Beringin, Perak, I don't know. So I was like, oh my god, no, I won't live in KKB for like another 2 years. Because like, it's far away, but for me, okay, the study environment is very good because you are away from the city life and you can focus more on your A levels. And of course, transitioning from high school to like pre-uni, as Finas mentioned, yes, they are more open, but I think that's not a main problem if you want to enter KY because everyone is very, very open, very, very friendly actually. Yeah, because you can try anything that you want, like sports, we can welcome you to play rugby, football, anything else. And yeah, A levels is a bit harder and it's a bit fast track since like compared to SPM and IGCSE. So you really have to like have a schedule and your study time as well.
I mean, whatever your academic syllabus is going to be tough either way. So adaptability, make sure you know how to manage yourself, and either way, inshallah, you will succeed. Now, Iman, may I ask, what are your thoughts about transitioning from high school to pre-university?
So, okay, it's a fun story because I've never actually been in a boarding school before. This is my first time at the ripe age of 18, 19. Was my first time being in a boarding school where I have to be away from home, where I can't go out whenever I wanted like I used to before. So the thing that challenged me the most was the fact that I couldn't go out after classes, which is what I used to do during SPM. So it was really hard for me because I think going out was a way for me to reconnect with the world and release my stress. But of course, adaptability is very important. So I managed to find a method that helps me the most. Sometimes when you feel like you're missing home, or maybe you want to go out, you can just go out here, cycle around with friends, go out. And I think that the change from high school to KY wasn't that much of a difference in terms of schedule, because back in my school there was really no one who managed my time. It was only me, and that's the same thing as here. So I didn't have any problem with that. But like Finas and Putra said, people here are really open. So I think that you should take this as an opportunity to be yourself, because you don't really have to, I would say, like, put a filter in front of yourself, because people here will accept you the way, will accept you no matter who you are, and it's just a matter of fact whether you want to be friends with them or not, because I think people here are really nice.
Yes, exactly. And even if people who are not from here, or you will end up in another university apart from KY, are we like promoting KY?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, sorry for the a little of biasness there. But either way, wherever you are, wherever people you come across, you know that you will always be yourself, and you don't need to change yourself for others, because if they don't value you for who you are, then those are not your people.
Sure.
Okay, so everyone find yourself and make sure that you own your value, you know who you are, and live up to your own standards and not others. Okay, now on to the sixth question. Finas, if you were to go back in time, maybe we have a time travel in the future, and you would like to give yourself some advice on how to spend the break after SPM, what would it be?
Honestly, I feel like I spent it well. So if I could go back, I would just tell her to just have fun, because it's the only time that you can.
Exactly. What about you, Iman?
I think after SPM, I was worrying too much about scholarship application. I mean, I put a really high hope on scholarship results and all that. And I do think that I spent it well. I did the things that I liked, but if I were to give an advice to myself a few months back, I would say go out more. Do it. Don't be afraid. Go out more. Explore the world more, because you're definitely going to miss it when you come to KY, because there's really nothing here except for maybe Putra, Finas, and Marsha, and some birds and
Trees and the llama. Okay, how about you, Putra?
Right. As I maybe mentioned before, spend time with your family more. Like, cause KY, you can only go back during weekends. Same as like boarding school. Same. You can go during weekends and school holidays. So you don't have the most of the time with your family, with your friends, and so on. And yes, as Iman mentioned, if I can go back to the past, I would go outside more, like go lepak and like, because during SPM we were so stressed about scholarship applications, doing this, CSR, doing that, and I think as Finas mentioned before, just have fun and just live with it.
Yeah. Okay, so now to the next question. In your opinion, what are amongst the activities that students after SPM can do or get involved in to help to build their soft skills or to gain some experience and insights that will be valuable for them in the future?
Okay, number one, guys, do business. Alright? For people who are business minded, do some, maybe a small business. Number one, for your, of course, your profit. Number two, if you are applying for UK or US, for your personal statement. And number three, yes, it can help you a lot, because it requires you for like critical thinking, your management, your time management skills, and so on. And it's not just about the business itself, it's about yourself that is trying to improve more other than people outside that. Right? Next, I would say that for me, as I mentioned before, yes, time is key, and managing your time well is very, very important.
Understood. How about you, Iman?
So I think some activities that you can definitely do after SPM is volunteering. You can always search out opportunities on the internet, and actually one of the most fun volunteering experience that I had was becoming a volunteer at Zunagara under the Keep Local program. And if you like animals, if you like talking to people, asking about questions about animals, then you can definitely go to Zunagara. Although you have to pay. This is not a promotion for Zunagara. This is just my personal opinion. And you can also and if you are interested in content creation and if you want to become a student ambassador while waiting for your SPM result or scholarship result, you can always follow these pages on Instagram and such and try to seek for ambassador opportunities. Or sometimes you can also get PR packages. All you have to do is just create a content for them, and like Putra said, which I agree a lot, you can also start your own business, especially if you are very business minded and if you want some extra pocket money before you go to uni.
Of course. How about you, Finesse?
Okay, if you want pocket money, but you want to start business, then go for a job. Internship maybe, but this is only if you want to commit to it and learn new things, because I feel like from internships and side jobs, you can like in a way indirectly learn about how the world works, how human thinks, and how some people actually makes your mind blown because like of how they think. And I feel like from there you can learn a lot. And indirectly you're learning communication skills, soft skills, even time management, and sometimes how you want to deal with people regardless of their personality and the way they bring themselves up to you. So I feel like that's another thing that you could consider.
Exactly. So guys, we are nearing the end of our podcast. Oh, how short time is. Well, I guess from all of your insights, which are very, very inspiring, we can say that, guys, just be yourself again. I think we're going to mention that again and again.
Just be yourself.
Because even though it's something really cliche or being said a lot of times, it's something very hard to really feel that in yourself, right? So, guys, make sure that you spend your post-SPM time well and make sure that you break out of your cocoon, because this is the only time that you're going to have the absolute free time to do what you want, to gain more experiences, to make more friends, make more connections that indeed you will use in the future. So now I hope this episode is very useful for all of you, and don't forget to subscribe on our Base Talk YouTube channel down below. All right?
Subscribe.
Yes, subscribe, share, and what did you call it? Comment.
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Yes, that's from our content creator, lovely content creator. And do follow our Base Instagram. Follow up on our scholarship resources, which will definitely come in handy during and also before the scholarship application process, or just come by to it to see more insights from wonderful speakers that I'm sure you'll not get from anywhere else. Now, with that being said, this marks the end of our 7th episode of the Base Talk podcast, and thank you for tuning in. Until we meet again, Assalamualaikum and bye.
Bye, guys. Okay.